All right, happy Saturday. My name is Shane. This is Black Swan Revelations. Today we're going to be continuing on with our investigation of the Nick Reiner murder case. He's on set to be on trial January 7th. That's the day of the arraignment, meaning his lawyer is going to plead for him. His lawyer's name is Alan Jackson. Is going to enter a plea whether guilty or not guilty. It'd be ridiculous for Alan Jackson to say guilty, but there are people out there that are saying that Alan Jackson will plead not guilty by reason of insanity. What I've been saying since day one, just look at the series, go back to the very beginning. I smelled something fishy right out of the gate. The second I heard about this, my spider senses were tingling, and I was like, this is bizarro world. Something is up. And I heard a little voice during that time that said, if you don't say something about this, the rocks will cry out. So I'm still trying to figure out what that exactly means. I think what it means is if you don't speak up or speak out against something that you feel is wrong, the science or the silence even will begin to cry out almost like for justice. And the reason why I say science is if you think about rocks crying out, that is nature testifying to a crime that was committed. Rob and his wife Michele were murdered. Clear. Fact. We just don't know by who. We don't know why. We don't know how they died, when they died, all this stuff. All we get is a death certificate that says that this was declared a homicide, that there was multiple puncture wounds, which is kind of strange when you think about it. That tells you that they were being stabbed to death. And when the reports first came out, it was Rob and Michele were murdered in their sleep, and everybody went, oh, oh, and they gasped, almost like on cue, that imagine the daughter finding both parents that were murdered in their sleep with their throats slit. And it's like, the police never said that at all. They never said their throats were slit. I'm talking about Sunday night. They never said that Nick was a suspect. Romy never said that. She never even called 911. It was her roommate that called 911. So they didn't have a suspect Sunday night. They didn't make an arrest Sunday night. They didn't have a warrant for the arrest of Nick Reiner. And Romy never said that her brother is a suspect. You should go after him. Those were all lies. So how many lies do you have to hear before you start questioning the narrative, before you start going, there's something else here? But instead, what I've been getting is in some of the comments, it's been getting better. But in the comments, I used to get ripped apart for this because people would say, Shane, don't you know Nick is guilty? 100% guilty. Case closed. Why are you even talking about this? Why are you bringing this up? Because I'm the only one that's bringing this up. And people are starting to come out of their caves. they're starting to come out of the woodworks and go, you know what? The Black Swan kind of has a point here. And who in the heck is this Rocco dude that shows up out of nowhere, arguably on Monday night? Because again, nobody knew anything Sunday night. There was no paparazzi around, nothing, because there was nothing reported yet. Instead, the LAPD made a press conference that night, Sunday night, saying that there was a homicide. We're not releasing the names of who the homicide was about. We don't have any suspects. We're just interviewing every family member. And for some reason, TMZ ran with the idea saying that a source close to the family said that there was a dying declaration, said that Nick was a suspect, said this, said that. It's like sources say that sources say, and it's weird. I think that one of the main sources that TMZ had was Rocco, the mystery man that I've been talking about for the past couple of episodes. I think this guy is highly suspect. I think you got to bring this guy into questioning. I think you got to press him because this guy looks like a squealer, and I know a squealer when I see one. There's something up with this assistant, Rocco, and also his mistress, his assistant, Missy. Rocco and Missy. And we're going to be talking about the Four Lions. Who is this organization? Who are these people that actually escorted Rocco right into the crime scene and escorted him out, taking evidence? Rocco was taking evidence with Missy wearing rubber gloves. Why would you wear rubber gloves? The only reason, and only a sane person would think this way, that if you're wearing rubber gloves is because you don't want to taint the scene of the crime. That's why you wear rubber gloves. Or you're worried about getting your fingerprints all over the bloody sheets. It's weird. I'm telling you, when I saw this guy show up, and I'm going to show the footage again, we're going to dive into this, and we're going to dive into this organization called the Four Lions. So you don't want to miss this episode. Folks, this is a messy case, more for the prosecution than for Alan Jackson and the defense. Alan Jackson doesn't take cases unless he thinks there's a good chance. Now, you could say, oh, he's doing it for the money. He's doing it for the money. I've heard people say both sides. I've heard people say he's doing it for free as a favor to the family. And I've heard people say he's doing it for money. How about he's doing it because he's a dang good lawyer and the prosecution is terrified of this guy? So let's go to this mystery man, Rocco. Let's go to the footage again. And this way I can give you guys a little bit of perspective in case you didn't watch any of my previous videos. So here we go. All right, so this is Rocco leaving and his assistant, Missy, who's in front. 4 Lions group is on the right side. There's 2 of them. Missy is in front left, and you'll see a guy with a cane walking. They have leather gloves on and a bag.
Hey, Rocco. Sorry for your loss.
And then there's Rocco right there. Notice he's not saying anything, and he has a hoodie on, which, again, you're allowed to wear a hoodie, but he's wearing a black hoodie. I'd like to know what kind of shades this guy has. Not because I like them, but I wonder sometimes, are these those Google shades or whatever that were the Ray-Bans, I think they are, that you can actually take videos? I don't know what kind. They actually just look like sunglasses that are basically, they change as soon as you come out into the sun. Progressives, because look at the tint. It's half tint, half not tint. And the guy on the left, dark shades. So, and then, yeah, the rubber gloves for me are bizarro world. That tells me you are not trying to leave your fingerprints at the scene of the crime. And I think these reporters, like, if you look, there's a whole boatload of reporters, and I'll show that they're just as confused as anyone else.
How long were you an assistant?
Reporters are asking, how long are you an assistant? Were you an assistant to Rob? Because this is a mystery to everyone. This guy is quiet. He's not saying anything because I think he's puckering up right now. He can't speak because he's got this evidence that weighs about 1,000 pounds. And I'm going to reach here. There's a good chance this guy's on his way to the hotel to contaminate the scene of the crime. Now, I know I'm reaching, but you guys reach because you said Nick was guilty right out of the gate. No evidence of him being guilty except you, you keep going back to when he was 7 years old. You're like, he can't sit still, Shane. His parents' yoga instructor said that he would interrupt them. So I'm doing the same thing as what they're doing on the other side. They're saying Nick is guilty. I'm saying investigate this guy. He has access to the house. He showed up in the weirdest skull shirt, and I'm going to show this footage. Somebody in my audience brought it up, said, "Hey, Shane, you didn't really talk too much about the way this guy looked with his shirt and his tattoos and stuff, so we're going to talk about that in this episode." But and notice the L4S logo, that's 4 lions. 4 lions. That's the name of the security company that is protecting Rocco. My question is, where were these guys when Rob Reiner and Michele got murdered? If this is Rob's assistant, is Rob using is if this is Rob's assistant, Rocco, is it fair to say, why are they still protecting him if technically he's unemployed by Rob and Michele? Because usually when your employer is gone, like if you're working for that person only, or is there something else going on here? That this security company is working, whether for the Reiner family, for Rocco, I don't know. But we're going to look into these guys in this episode. Who are the L4 Lions? I want to show you this guy. Like, it's suspect, man. And anybody that is, like, if you're looking at this and you're going, no, Shane, I don't know why you're looking at this. Nick is guilty. Why are you looking at this guy with gloves? I don't know. This neighborhood is famous for black gloves. Think of O.J. Simpson. That whole trial was crazy. Remember the glove that didn't fit? And then later, O.J. Simpson got off? That was this neighborhood. So now we got another scenario where these two people are wearing black gloves. Notice the security's not wearing black gloves. And he's got, if you look in the bag, let me just back up here.
So I feel
Look at, there's your blinds right there. I don't know what's in that bag to the left, of that box, I should say, inside the bag. Something in there. I don't know what's in there. Shoes, Nick's shoes. I don't know. But you could clearly see the blinds that he's going to be using at the hotel. I don't know how else to interpret that. He's carrying something. And if you think about it, Michele was a photographer, meaning they're going to have backdrops like this stuff. They're going to have all these black backdrops. So he's already thinking about, and again, I'm leaping, yes, just like you guys are leaping, that this guy's on his way to the hotel. The only way to disprove me is to show me the hotel footage. And I'm telling you, if I see this guy show up at the hotel, I'm going to lose my mind. If you see footage of this guy walking in with a hoodie, because remember, they were telling us that the night of the murder, that Nick was wearing a hoodie, which is weird, right? They kept bringing this up. Nick is wearing a hoodie. Nick is wearing a dark hoodie. So if I see footage of this guy with a hood over his head going to the hotel room with bags like this, and it's caught on camera because somebody has this footage. Somebody has it, and they're waiting for more money from TMZ or from CNN or from Fox, because this is going to blow things wide open. And they're going to be all over this guy, especially if you see a guy with a hoodie walking into the hotel and they're saying, look, here's Nick. He's got all the sheets and the curtains, and look, he's got the blinds, and he's carrying it into the hotel, probably to try and wash himself off, which is bizarre, right? So this guy, the second he showed up, was on my spider senses, man. I'm telling you.
lost. How long were you an assistant?
This is just a side note. I don't know why. But this is weird that this vehicle here has its hood up. I don't know. I just noticed things. Was it because this vehicle was on all night long? I don't know. Battery dead? Don't know. But the hood is up. Just kind of weird in this area. So are you going to get a boost now from someone, from another reporter? Like, I don't know. It's weird. But again, if you're operating generators all night long or whatever, the battery could die. Just kind of an observation. That's all. So we know so far that this guy said, I'm the assistant. He didn't say I'm Rob Reiner's assistant, but he said I'm the assistant. And if you need access to the house, I can help you guys out. And sometimes when you do this kind of gesture with your hands, you're actually surrendering subconsciously. You're like, I don't have anything to hide or arrest me or whatever it is. I'm here to help. I'm here to turn myself in, whatever. These are kind of the gestures that you do. Most people don't do that. Most people would be like talking to Romy and saying, how can I help you out? Not going to the LAPD and saying, I'm here. Can you tell the family I'm here? Because apparently I don't have their phone number. I don't have Romy's number. I don't have Jake's number. And it's strange that this guy never mentioned Nick's name. Question is, did Nick and Rocco ever get along? Because if Nick didn't get along with Rocco, there's your motive for getting rid of Rob and Michele Reiner, because this guy didn't like Nick and he's framing Nick. I know I'm reaching, guys, but I'm trying to piece this stuff together because it doesn't make any sense. And notice the title. Rob Reiner's assistant, Rocco, gets items from crime scene. Why does he need to take stuff away unless he's going to the hotel? He's got blinds in his bag. The hotel staff said there were blinds over the curtains. There was blood in the tub. Does he have vials in that box of blood from the crime scene? Does he have bed sheets? Does Missy have bed sheets that they're bringing to the hotel? So this guy's not speaking.
Be careful of the car, guys.
Yeah, no worries. How you holding up, Rocco?
What's weird is I looked this stuff on Facebook as well, and everybody was saying, except for a few people went, this is suspect. This guy is probably removing evidence from the crime scene to contaminate the hotel. So I'm not the only one. If you go on Facebook and they show this guy, everybody's like, this is weird. But most people are saying, oh, how sad was it when you're working for your boss and you show up and your boss is murdered and all this? Oh, I'm sorry for your loss, Rocco. Sorry for your loss. Well, where were you Sunday night? I would like to know. I think inquiring minds would like to know. I need to see your phone logs. I need to see where you were, because you have access. You said it. You came to the LAPD and you said you have access codes, meaning you know how to get in and out of this place. Everybody was saying Nick did it to his parents because he lived there in the guest house. Isn't it interesting that Nick wasn't allowed back to the crime scene because he booked a hotel, because it's all under investigation. So he booked a hotel close to his home. And people are like, oh, he's avoiding the police. It's like, no, he's staying close by. I don't think this guy can run fast enough to get away from these cameras, and he's not saying anything. Remember the night before? Oh, I'm here to help. I'm here to help. He doesn't answer one question. I'm telling you, that bag feels like it's about 1,000 pounds right now. And notice his limp. We're going to be talking about this guy's limp. I think he probably had some kind of a wrestling match trying to tie down or hold down Rob Reiner. Rob's a big dude. And he twisted his ankle.
You guys doing okay? Is the family okay?
Who cares about this guy? Are you doing okay? Is your family okay? Look at the grin on this guy's face. He's like, I am almost out of here scot-free. Like, they are not catching me here. I'm almost free. If I could just get past these cameras, I am scot-free. Nobody would suspect me as being the murderer of Rob and Michele Reiner. Nobody, except the Black Swan, of course. There's his culprit, Missy. So bizarre. All right. Let's now go to another piece of footage I want to show you I want to show you Rocco arriving at the scene of the crime and saying, I can help you guys. I got access codes, all this kind of stuff, because I think this will give us some context as well, what this guy looked like. And I'm going to talk about what he looked like. And then we're going to get into this Four Lions security company and find out a little bit about them together, because I haven't looked at this website yet, as in thorough detail. All I did was I looked at one page and I'm like, okay, I got to talk about this, because I had to figure out who these guys were. What was the Four Lions? What is that? I haven't seen this anywhere on any media outlet, anywhere. CNN, Fox, TMZ. I know I'm saying that TMZ is a news outlet. They are not. They're liars. They're schemers. They're planners. They're manipulators. But 99% of these organizations are not talking about this case. All they're doing is they're going back in time to when Nick was 15 or 16 years old, saying things like, Shane, Nick was in and out of rehab by the time he was 16 or 17 times, 17 or 18 times. And don't you know, his yoga instructor said he kept interrupting their sessions and he couldn't sit still when he was 7. Don't you know that, Shane? That means he's guilty. And nobody's looking into this like I am. Show me another channel, please. Show me another channel that's saying there is a chance that Nick Reiner is framed. Show me another channel that's saying there is a chance that Nick Reiner is innocent. Show me another channel that is talking about Rocco and Missy and why are they tampering with the evidence at the scene of the crime? Why are they allowed by LAPD to take stuff from the crime scene and remove it? Why do they have security? And why didn't Rob and Michele have security? Did Rocco tell the security to stand down that night and say, I got this? You got the night off. It's the Sabbath. Shabbat Shalom. Don't worry about it. You don't have to work Saturday. And they left. And when Rob and Michele got home, was Rocco waiting for them to unlife them? Nobody's asking these questions. Why? Okay, let's go and see when Rocco first showed up.
I think Romy and her roommate Sid had let somebody know that we were going to be coming here, but
How many people are there?
it's me. Well, my assistant Missy was also trying to get here before she left, but she had just said that they were going to let somebody know that I was going to come.
Okay, you're the assistant.
I'm the assistant. Like everybody else. No, I don't know if I can be any assistance or help with anything, with the house, access to anything.
So at this point, the detectives are talking with some of the family members and got the information. Right now, I think they have results of family members they have the number that you can contact.
Yeah, I was trying. Is it possible to just at least let Romy and Jake know that I'm here in case they need anything?
I don't have a way to talk to them right now, but once they are before, I can tell them.
Please, if you could, my name is Rocco. If you could just let them know that I'm around. Okay. We have friends in the neighborhood, and I'm just going to be here in case somebody needs anything.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Rocco, can we ask you a question?
Not right now.
All right, now we're going to break this down a little bit. This lady here is another reporter. I don't think she knows this guy because she was asking, how did you know? How did you hear? All this stuff. I talked about this in a previous video. But look at the shirt that this guy's wearing. He shows up at a crime scene, a murder investigation, with the absolute worst shirt that you can wear. A bunch of skulls with bones on it. And this guy's got tattoos all up and down his sleeves. It's like, is this guy a hitman? Is he letting the family know that Roco is here? And if you say anything to the media, you're next? Because, again, it kind of looks like he doesn't have access to the family. You might be saying, Shane, you're reaching. But why would he ask the police, hey, let the family know that Roco is here and we have people all around? Let's listen to it again.
I think Romy and her roommate Sid had let somebody know that we were going to be coming here, but
I think Romy and her roommate said that somebody's going to be coming around. Bizarre. Like, this guy is speaking gibberish. It's like he's speaking code to the LAPD police to say, look, let the family know that the mafia is watching him. Because if this LAPD, look, he's looking at his shirt. He's looking at his disposition. And if the LAPD describes this guy to the family and they say Roco, the assistant, is telling you that he's around if you need anything, and they're like, Roco, the assassin? What did he look like? Well, he had a red shirt on that looked like blood, and he had skulls with crossbones all over his shirt. And then on the back of his shirt is all that glitters is gold. And he's got these weird, is that the people that he's offed? Is that names of people that he's killed? I don't know. It's kind of weird that you got names of people tattooed. Look, you could see first, the second name, it's a C dot and then someone's last name. If you pull off his shirt, is he going to have tattoos of O.J. Simpson, Nicole Kidman, the Menendez brothers, the Manson family? Like, what is going on with this guy? Like, again, you might be going, you're reaching, Shane, but no one else is talking about this. This is why I said 2 weeks ago, I had a little voice that said, if you don't talk about this, the rocks will cry out. I'm the only one talking about this Roco guy. Nobody else is doing this. You got to ask yourself why.
How many people are there?
it's me. Well, my assistant Missy.
How many people are there? Is what this LAPD guy is saying. And Rocco gets a little vague. He's like, it's me and my assistant. I thought my assistant's here, but my assistant left. Probably ran away because she's like, there's too many cops, bro. Don't do this. Don't go to the scene of the crime. And Rocco's like, I have to. Because if I could show up pretending that I'm helping everyone, then they'll allow me the next day to get in and I can start tampering with the hotel. I could start planting seed because you know how much I don't like Nick. And you know how much Rob said that he loved Nick like as his own son, which he is. But I wanted to be his son. I'm the assistant. I don't know. I'm just throwing things out there. I'm throwing spaghetti at the wall. That's what you have to do sometimes. But this guy with this red skull shirt, to me, is a signal to the police to tell the family that if you guys don't shut up, if you don't keep your mouth quiet, we got people all around. Let's play it again. Because he's kind of vague.
I think Romy and her roommate Sid had let somebody know that we were going to be coming here, but
How many many people are there?
It's me. Well, my assistant Missy was also trying to get here before she left, but she had just said that they were going to let somebody know that I was going to come.
Okay, you're the assistant.
I'm the assistant. Like everybody else.
Okay, look at this shirt here. All that, what does it say? All that glitters be not gold. That's weird. Be not gold. I thought it was gold, be gold. I thought the saying was, may all that glitters be gold. But he's saying all that glitters be not gold. That's a weird thing to put on your shirt. Let me back up to make sure I could read it right.
Like everybody else.
Be not gold. All that glitters be not gold. Weird. Maybe somebody that's watching this can look up that saying for me or that phrase. What does that mean? What does the skull bones mean? Is that tied to some kind of Mason? Is that some kind of a cult that off celebrities? I don't know. You guys can do some digging. But now this guy goes into whisper mode.
Is there something on it?
No, I don't know if I can be any assistance or help with anything with the house, access to anything.
So at this point, no. Does it take place?
He's like, I just want to know if I could be of help. And he's like, what did he say? Because they're trying to figure out who this guy is. And again, if he's the assistant, shouldn't he be the first one at the site? Why is he a mystery to everyone? Why don't the police know about this guy? Why doesn't Romy know? Why doesn't Jake know about this guy, Rocco? It's like he's not even on the list of people to contact.
Something on it?
No, I don't know if I can be any.
It's almost like he said, is there something you know? Let me put the closed caption on. Did you hear something is what he said.
Is there something on it?
No,
Is there something that you know? I can read lips. I don't need the subtitles. I can read lips. I'm a lip reader. He said, is there something that you know? And listen to Rocco's response. It's not, did you hear something? Is there something that you know? Is there something that you know? Clear as a bell. Okay, now listen to Rocco's response.
No, I don't know if I can
No. I just
be any assistance or help with anything with the house, access to anything.
don't know if I could be of any assistance. Like with the house, access to anything. I can get you guys hooked up. I can get you in and out of the house. Which is weird because it's the LAPD. They can get in and out of the house. But if you think about it, once the LAPD leave the house, they're not allowed to go back in because of your Fourth Amendment. So I don't know if this Rocco guy was in and out of that house on the night of. Again, I need to see surveillance cameras. If I see a guy in a hoodie at the Reiner's home and they're like, it's Nick, look at Nick, he's wearing a dark hoodie and he's murdering his parents in their sleep. I'm telling you, it's this guy.
So at this point, no.
Because he's wearing a dark hoodie.
Does it take place with some of the family members and got good information? Right now, I think they have it. So like, family members they have a number, they can get a contact.
Yeah, I was trying.
He said if you have a phone number, they can contact you. He's not even listening to the cop.
Is it possible to just at least let?
I was trying. Is it possible to at least let? So the cop said, look, everything is under control here. We don't need anything from you. The family's not talking. And if they have your phone number, they can reach out to you. But Rocco isn't having it. He's like, please, Is it possible? Why did he need to let the family know? Why is he trying to tell the police, look, Roco, the assistant, is here? Roco, the assistant, let them know. They'll know who I am. Because obviously they don't have his number. Because the police are even saying, look, if they have your number, they'll call you. And he's like, no, that's not good enough for Roco. That's not good enough for me, Meng. I need you to do me a favor. I need you to let the family know that Roco is all around. It's weird.
Romy and Jake know that I'm here in case they need anything.
I don't have a way to talk to them right now, but once they are
Said, I don't know if they're talking right now, like to anyone, period. And Rocco's like, let them know that Roco is here. It's weird.
Please, if you could, my name is Rocco. If you could just let them know that I'm around. Okay. We have friends in the neighborhood, and I'm just going to be here.
Let them know that I'm around and we have friends in the neighborhood. Meaning, if you talk, if you so much as whisper, this is mafia language, folks. This is mafia language. Like, again, if the family had this guy's contact number, there's no reason for this guy to be here. But he never said that he was Rob Reiner's assistant. We can presume. I'm presuming he is because he's saying, I have access to the home. I can get you codes. I can get you into the home. I can get you access to anything in the home. And then the officer asks, who are you? You're the assistant? Yes, I'm the assistant. And can you make sure that the family knows that Roco is here and that I have friends? Notice the circular motion, meaning I have people all over this place that'll take you out if you talk. How else do you look at that? Why does anybody care if he has friends all around the house, surrounding the house? Why does anybody care unless that's some kind of mafia speak?
I don't have a way to talk to them right now, but once they are available, I can talk.
Please, if you could, my name is Rocco. If you could just let them know that I'm around. Okay. We have friends in the neighborhood, and I'm just going to be here in case somebody needs anything.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Rocco, we ask you a question?
Not right now.
Not right now. Okay. Whew, crazy, right? Okay, so now we're going to look into this security company, the Four Lions. So let's have a look at their website. So this is the Lions 4 Security Company. Remember that shirt, the sweatshirt or the sweater that the security guard was wearing? That was that image, and then it was L4S. Lions 4 Security. That's what that stands for. So I'm going to blow this up to full screen here so that you guys can have a look at the same time. And this is me doing a thorough search now on this website. I haven't done this before. So all I did was I looked here and I went, oh, look, they're a security company. I need to talk about that on my show. So we're doing this together. So Lions 4 Security, these are the security guards that were actually helping Roco. All right, so what services do they do? Our high standards and attention to detail are second to none. Each of our services offers extreme peace of mind so you could feel safe and get back to what's important. Here's what they do. Our suite of services include the following: global entertainment security. In today's unpredictable world, our highly experienced and trusted security professionals provide top-tier protective services and security to celebrities, executives, studios, and some of the entertainment industry's highest profile names and venues. Okay, I just want to stop here because let me just go back to me for a sec. The reason why I'm looking into all this stuff again, because some people, again, they keep asking the question. Maybe even in the comments, people are saying, why do you have a dog in the fight here? Well, I don't have a literal dog in the fight, but I have an interest. One, I went to film school for 2 years. I got my diploma in cinema, television, stage, and radio arts. So I have a diploma in that. I actually had an agent where I was actually on the scene of various movies. I was a cop in various movies. I was an FBI agent in various movies. I was a stand-in for the sheriff on a TV series called Lonesome Dove with Paul Johansson. I was his stand-in for a season. So I have a background in this. And another interesting thing that I never mentioned to anyone, some of my friends know this, but I tried my hand at comedy for a whole year. That was on my bucket list. So all over Calgary, I went to every place and did a 5-minute open night comedy routine for a year. I got invited to several places and I would go throughout the city. My goal was to hit every comedy club in Calgary. And I did that for a year. I was on my bucket list. Rob Reiner and family love comedians. Conan O'Brien has a Christmas party every year, and comedians flock to this Christmas party. Billy Crystal is a comedian, huge friend of Rob Reiner. I also worked for a hotel organization. I actually managed a hotel for 4 years, which included changing the sheets, cleaning the rooms, managing the front desk. So I know how hotel services run. And I also worked for a security company, both in the United States and in Canada. So I understand how security companies secure areas. I was security for rock concerts. I was security for nightclubs. I was security for events. So I have an interest because this is right up my alley, because I worked for the various organizations and I have many cop friends as well. In jiu-jitsu, lots of cops go to jiu-jitsu. I am a blue belt in jiu-jitsu. So I would spar with cops. Some of them I would choke out, not on purpose, but in jiu-jitsu, you could do that. And so I have I actually wanted to be a police officer. I actually filled everything out, handed in everything. It took me like a year to get references, all kinds of stuff. But I was pretty young when they did it. And they said, basically, you need a little bit more experience. I applied to the city police in Calgary. My friends know this because I asked them to be a, what do you call it? A person that basically can vouch for you. I had to do that with family members, all kinds. I was so close. I wanted to be a cop because growing up, people are always like, "Are you a cop? Are you a cop?" 6'2", 250 pounds. So when you walk in a room, people think you're a cop or security. So when I was a security, it's funny. When I was in the movie Painkillers, go look it up. I got to drive a cop car. And when I showed up to the set, because there are times where you would go to a different department and get dressed up, and I got dressed up as a RCMP officer. When I showed up to the set, they give you a fake gun, give you a fake billy club, fake handcuffs, all this kind of stuff. I walked in looking for where I'm supposed to be, where the casting director was, and there were technicians there. There were other people there, directors, writers, all that stuff. They actually thought I was a cop on the scene. like just being security for while they were doing the filming. They thought I was an actual police officer. Because imagine walking in being 6'2" with the hat and you got all the gear on that says RCMP. They actually thought I was a police officer. I could tell because they were treating me with respect like an officer until I said I'm one of the extras. They're like, oh, okay, you belong over here. It's kind of funny. Anyways, I share that with you guys because there's a lot of things that I'm interested in that center around this investigation that I've been a part of in some way. Wanted to be a police officer. Wanted to be a private eye. I used to hang out with private investigators on ride-alongs, and we would do surveillance on people. We would sit outside in a vehicle all dang night long. You'd have to pee in bottles and stuff. I worked for security companies. I did comedy. I was in movies. I tried writing scripts. I wrote a book. I like conspiracies. Like, this fits my whole genre of what I like to talk about. So let's get back to this security company. Hopefully that gives you guys a little bit more perspective of my dog in the fight. All right. So who are these guys again here? Global Entertainment Security Executive Protection. Our highly trained executive protection agents are experienced in all facets of discrete protective services, including risk assessment, threat reduction, planning, and advanced intelligence work. That's interesting. Domestic and international travel security, and close executive protection at home, office, and events. So they protect your home. Apparently, they're not very good if they're protecting Robin Rochelle Reiner. Just throwing that out there. Throwing it out there. State security. Your safety and comfort at home is our top priority. Our ever vigilant team of estate security agents provide reliable, comprehensive, and broad-ranging protection for the most exclusive private residences and estates. Experience the L4S difference. Reliable, questionable right now, and professional home security, custom tailored to fit your lifestyle, which means they have the ability to turn on or turn off your security system. And isn't it interesting that these guys are actually escorting Roco out of the crime scene? Premier Hotel Security. As the trusted partner of elite hotels, I wonder if they're a trusted partner of Pierside Hotel. We provide unparalleled protection to esteemed guests. Our highly trained and professional security personnel, coupled with extensive planning and advanced reconnaissance, create a robust security network tailored to each hotel's unique needs. Meaning, once they secure an area or plan it ahead of time, they can allow, to me, this is what this says. I'm reading between the lines. You have a security agency that is very good at risk assessment for hotels. So would it be weird to say that Nick was booked into a hotel by this security company to say, look, we're taking care of the whole family here. We're advising you because we have connections with this hotel, Nick. Book into this hotel. So he booked into the hotel, looked calm, normal, everything. They go get Rocco. They escort him into the crime scene. He gathers all the evidence. Nick is gone because remember, the security team can know when Nick is coming and going. When he leaves the hotel, maybe they distract him somewhere, or I don't know, take him somewhere else. Don't know. Again, we need to see that footage. And then Rocco is allowed to go into the hotel room because the security has Nick's key. Because, Nick, if you're ever in trouble, I need your room key. And security companies do this stuff. This is not questionable, because if they're protecting elite celebrities like the Reiner family, they're going to have access not only to their home and the security, because that's what I just read to you. They take care of home and estates. They plan everything. So that means they're in charge of the security. They can turn it on and off. That means they're in charge of the security detachment at the hotel that they work with. Probably Pierside Hotels is one of their clients, which means they have access in and out of the hotel, and maybe access to the surveillance cameras because they're a security company. They could turn off the cameras at Pierside Hotel and say this place is under investigation, blah, 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 and then go in with Rocco into Nick's hotel when he's gone, because remember, he got arrested Monday night. So the best time to go into the hotel is when Nick is arrested. He's in custody. He got booked, remember, Tuesday morning at 5 o'clock. Tuesday morning is when the maids discovered the bloody sheets and the blind over the window. So now you have access to the hotel when Nick's not there by the security company, and they're allowing Rocco to get inside. Let's go back to this website here. So special events. So we looked up hotel, discreetly and safety, so they can get you in and out. So again, security personnel coupled with extensive planning, advanced reconnaissance, so they can keep an eye on Nick when he's coming and going. Create a robust security network tailored to each hotel's needs. Beyond conventional security, our team seamlessly integrates into the guest service experience, as in you may not know they're even there. They might just blend in, ensuring warm hospitality while discreetly ensuring safety. Special events. Event security teams will make sure that your unique event runs smoothly and is coordinated from start to finish. My question is, were they at Conan O'Brien's Christmas party? Because they need security there as well. So quality customer service for your guests, support staff, i.e. Rocco, venue protection. So they actually support staff. They actually provide safety for support staff, again, like Rocco. So they also do private investigation services. Our team of seasoned private detectives and investigators perform a variety of discrete services, including evidence gathering. So now we have this private investigation organization that are allowed to gather evidence from the crime scene. We just saw it on camera. I just showed you it. So they're allowed to do that for court cases. So they're grabbing evidence for the court case. Information, verification, searches, conduct screenings, surveillance, and background checks for all of our clients. Our senior management team draws from a range of top-level experience as active or former law enforcement, military. So these guys are ex-military guys, public safety service professionals, to provide comprehensive security and safety plans to meet your special needs. Contact us for a free consultation. Let our team introduce you to the L4S commitment to excellence. They also have drone services. Remember that security team under Harpo for Charlie Kirk? They're like, we can't have drones at this event. Look at these guys. For large scale events, our drone security services act as a valuable enhancement to our ground security team. We have established strategic partnerships with world-renowned experts in DFR, drones as first responders, to proactively mitigate potential threats before they even reach the ground. Wow. Crazy, right? So they're all in LA. Bios, let's see. Let's go to the bios here. Let's see who these guys are. Finn McCleffery, Beverly Hills PD. So this guy used to be a retired retired police officer, I guess. He used to be a police officer, now retired. Beverly Hills, that's interesting. Vito Maria, Chief Executive Officer. David Perez, Beverly Hills PD, retired. Ralph Morton, LAPD, retired. Krista Fowler, Vice President of Business Affairs. The security team. Joel Lopez, Department of Homeland Security, retired. Mario Hernandez, San Jose Police Department, retired. Supervisor, Northern California. Craig Dorner, U.S. Navy SEAL, retired. International and Domestic Executive Protection Advisor. William B.J. Welsh, U.S. Navy SEAL. Michael McKessie, Beverly Hills PD, retired. Ray Volts, Ontario PD, retired. Jeff Nettleton, Sheriff's Department, retired. Deron Scott, LAPD, retired. Rodney Thomas. Gretchen Munoz, LAPD, retired. Bruce Campbell, Army Police, U.S. Army Police, retired. Beverly Hills Police, this guy. Mark Ward, Executive Protection Officer. Michelle Bailey, Executive Protection Officer. Here's the management team. Lisa, Rebecca, Megan, Stacy, General Counsel. Maureen O'Connell, FBI, retired. So this lady used to work for the FBI. Technical surveillance, countermeasures, electronic security, investigative services. Wow. These guys are the tippity top when it comes to knowing the ins and outs of the police of Beverly Hills, I should say. Wow. All right. Okay, so that's lots for this show. That's lots. So we covered, excuse me, we covered Roco. We covered Missy a little bit. Still got to figure out a little bit more about Missy, who she is. Looks like an assistant. Everything seems suspicious here. This private investigation company, they're all run by the LAPD police, retired, so they all know each other. They all work with each other. It's like, this is, you want to talk about the in group. The LAPD knows these people because they're all retired from the Beverly Hills area. So they know this security company. They're in charge of cameras. They can turn them on and off. They also are in charge of security for hotels. They can turn cameras on and off. They have access codes to the Reiner residence. So does Roco. Most likely they have keys to Nick's room, hotel room. I just find it coincidental that they didn't find any blood on Nick. He gets arrested Monday night, and then the next day they find blood because the hotel said he didn't check out. Normally you check out in the morning. That's normal. Nobody checks out at night. Like, it's rare. Like, if I were to go to a hotel and I'm booking it for the night, the hotel staff doesn't come in an hour or two to check in on you. They don't do that. So they were surprised the next day that Nick didn't check out. So they went to the room to clean it, because that's what you do. You usually clean like from around 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning. You got to get through all the rooms by noon. This is why when I used to work for a hotel, people would ask me, what time is checkout? I would say noon, meaning they had to be out of there by noon to give me enough time to clean the rooms so that when the guests arrive in the afternoon or the evening, the rooms are already clean. And we replace the linen, the sheets, the towels, everything in that room. Coffee, top up all the coffee, clean everything out. So you needed time for that. And if somebody didn't check out, you would just check them out for them. Like you wouldn't bill them until they checked out. You just go, oh, they left. You look in their room and you could tell they left. Because there's towels everywhere, whatever it is, you can just tell that they're gone. There's no luggage anywhere. But it would be weird for me as a housekeeper, if you will, after a person checks into their hotel and then they leave for dinner, then I'm in their room. They would be, what are you doing? You're trying to rob me? So you wait till the next day and then you knock on the door and you say housekeeping. And then they put a sign on the door saying do not disturb. But the hotel staff was surprised on two accounts. The first surprise was that Nick looked normal. And then somebody said, looked tweaked out. I think that was added in. Well, do you think he looked tweaked out? Yeah, I guess he did. That's leading. So he looked normal. He had no blood, no signs of scuffle, nothing like this. The next day, the staff is saying it was weird that he didn't check out. They just found it weird because normally people say, hey, I'm checking out tomorrow morning. He didn't. Why? Because he was in custody Monday night. They arrested him Monday night. Tuesday morning, they booked him at 5 a.m. after they found the blood at the hotel, meaning probably around 4 o'clock in the morning. The maids are going in. They're like, oh, look at all this blood. Let's call the police. Let's call the LAPD. LAPD come in. They call the security probably because the security is in charge of Nick's room. Nick. And then they book Nick on Tuesday morning at 5 a.m. And then they announce that he's on $4 million of bail. And then they took away the bail. They said that this guy could be committing suicide. So they put him on suicide watch. Like it was like a done deal. I'm saying it's not a done deal. Saying this is not a done deal. And on the 7th, so we're at the 3rd. So we're 4 days away from seeing what Alan Jackson is going to plead on behalf of Nick Reiner. And I think it's going to be not guilty, or they've made a deal behind closed doors to release Nick back in the public because of shenanigans going on behind the scenes. I'm telling you, this is going to be one of the most watched events, and I'm actually surprised. Maybe I'm not surprised, but Candace Owens isn't talking about this. Tucker Carlson isn't talking about this. Patrick David, they're all fixated on Charlie Kirk. And they're not focusing on, and maybe this is a distraction. I don't know. Like it was so much of a coincidence that the Epstein files were being released. And all of a sudden we got this murder. And then there was another mass shooting in Australia. And that's what I was fixated on. I'm like, oh, that's horrible. A bunch of Jews got slaughtered on a beach during the first day of Hanukkah. And then this happened. More Jews felt like offered up as some kind of a Hollywood type sacrifice. It's weird, right? Thank you guys for watching this video. Really appreciate you guys for sticking around. Make sure and subscribe to this channel because YouTube has a funny way of unsubscribing people from my channel. So I always tell people, make sure and double check, because if you click on that notification bell, you'll be notified when I am going to do a premiere or a live show. You'll be notified immediately. So I always tell people, my mom has been unsubscribed 3 times to my channel. She'd say things like, hey, I didn't know that you're doing a video today. And then she would check and go, oh, for some reason I'm unsubscribed. So YouTube has unsubscribed hundreds of my subscribers in the past year. Hundreds of them. It's weird. It could have been because I started talking about Klaus Schwab and the World Economic Forum. And the first video that I did 3 years ago about Klaus Schwab had over 50,000 views. Had over 50,000 views right out of the gate. And this was when I had under 1,000 subscribers. My channel was blowing up. And I thought, oh, this is before I understood how YouTube worked. So this is kind of interesting. I'm getting a lot of views and clicks talking about Klaus Schwab. So what do? I go to talk about him again in another video. Do the same thing. Talk about him over a period of 2 or 3 days. My channel got squashed to hell and back. So after I learned, I'm like, you know what? I'm not doing this for clicks. I'm not doing this for views because I know how YouTube works. YouTube will squash this stuff and not let you see it. So this is why I tell people, share this video. If people get mad at me saying Roco is suspect, that's fine. But we have to talk about this stuff. Otherwise, the stones will cry out. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate you guys, and we'll see you on Monday. Thanks again.